Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ford Ice Center, the Ice Castle. I'm Dylan Simmons alongside Abigail Martin, and welcome to another edition of Rowdy Raider Hockey. As you can see, it's already started behind us, Abigail, but what an awesome night here. It's
definitely been a start so far. So far, we're scoreless as well, going 0-0. So, I mean, we might as well get caught up on this game. Why don't we?
I think that's a great idea. Let's get right into the action. Already you see Ole Miss with the puck, and through the 10 minutes that we've seen so far, Ole Miss really pressuring MTSU, already had a power play opportunity.
Right, and that's something that shouldn't be surprising to MTSU fans coming with a penalty kill to start the game or even just without into this game. Lack of discipline has definitely been a key factor.
MTSU going to try to reverse that here as this first period progresses forward. Inside, Ole Miss trying to get a shot off, cannot. Puck is going to be sent deep by Rathert, and MTSU will make some substitutions here. Ole Miss is going to send it back near side, and the Rebels looking for an opportunity, and here comes Settle. Michael Settle with it. Settle to the inside, fake the shot, and it's going to be taken away by the Rebels. Nice defense that time.
Looking on Ole Miss goaltending side, Cameron Parent over on MTSU, Ethan Roy, both with the starts tonight.
And both of these goalies very impressive so far this season, have done a really good job and have established themselves in the starting role. Trying to do that once more. MTSU with Taylor now. Taylor sends it over, finds the ice bender Lyndon Palmer. Palmer looking up the rink. Palmer with a shot. Not going to go in that time. It's going to be Settle looking, and he will send it deep. Puck is going to be shot off the pad again of Parent. Here's Bannis. Anthony Bannis passes it to the inside. Palmer inside shot, and this one will go over the net and out of play.
Hit the net, just the wrong one.
The wrong net. Right idea, wrong net, but you like where he was looking that time. Score remains at 0-0. And more substitutions will be made for MT.
It's Greek night here at Ford Ice Center in Antioch. Had the puck drop, a special puck drop ceremony by the homecoming king of MTSU.
Right you are. It is Greek night. It is as thunderous as Zeus right now when you talk about Greek night in here. Love the fan base tonight. They have come out in full force for the Rowdy Raiders. And there's a few Ole Miss fans here as well. So Hotty Toddy well represented as well for Ole Miss. Big hit to the inside for Fink. There's Blake Neiman in the middle trying to get up to it. MTSU going to try to retrieve it, but the Rebels are going to send it deep once again. Puck play to the inside. Pignoco sends it over. Trying to find Fink on the bounce pass. Nothing going to do. Parent will send it back over. And the Rebels will try to reestablish some control. Pignoco now. Sends it over back. Ole Miss with it. Near side. Pignoco has it. And it's going to go right past the Ole Miss defenders into the waiting arms of Parent, and he will cover this one safely. So Ole Miss trying to avoid early catastrophe. Really, both teams have been able to do that thus far. And again, the score remains at a shutout for both.
Right now, I mean, I really think it's going to be a start to the first goal. Whoever can get the momentum first, I think that's going to be who is able to ride out in this game.
Great point. I think it's going to come down, as like you said, to who can really get that early stretch of momentum to the inside. MTSU trying to do just that. Settle looking inside again, and again it's just off the mark. MT back from the blue line. Knight shot, and goes off the glass once again. Nicholas Knight's trying for the up and elevated shot. Now he's got it back from the point. Finds him his man inside. Wrench to the inside. Spin shot. And nothing doing. Parent with an amazing save still inside. And it's going to be finally stopped.
Siciliano, what a backhand there. Way to have that great awareness. And I think they have the right idea. They've got the shot coming in from the top with Knights. And they're going to try and get their equation. Just we're waiting to see who's going to get the first goal of the game. But that's a way to get things started. A good face-off win will help here too.
Good point. Matthew Siciliano with a great backhand pass there. Rebels going to waste no time taking it up the rink once again. Back to the inside shot, and it goes off the pad of Roy. Ole Miss now with it. Stick goes. Knights in a bit of a situation here.
I think our skates might be tangled.
Oh, my goodness. The skates got tangled up like jungle vines, and the players are sorting it out. You know, these sorts of oddities happen, and it is a wild Friday night here at the Ford Ice Center. Anything can happen. Face-off coming here. Michael Settle for MTSU. He'll send it over. Ole Miss wins the face-off. Puck play to the inside once again, and it just goes past of Ethan Roy. Looking back over. Looking for Stalzer. Nice defense by the Rebels once again, though, Abigail.
A good look. A good idea.
Good idea indeed. Puck played deep once more. And going to be potentially a near icing. Ole Miss will take it back. Rebels looking for Bannis. Finds his man. Puck played to the inside, trying to find Settle. Settle in a 1-on-3, and nothing doing that time. Ole Miss continues with the numbers. Cameron Perrin, a nice early showing here for Ole Miss. Like any parent, you've got to protect the baby, and in this case, that's the puck. He's been doing a great job of that. And we'll see another quick stoppage. 6:24 remaining here in the first period here at the Fordyce Center. If you're just joining us here on the MTN Sports YouTube channel. Still scoreless. Face-off will be won, and here comes Michael Settle. Settle trying to shoot it to the inside. Nothing doing. Settle looking. And again, Ole Miss takes it right back. And that stingy Rebel defense continues to cause problems for the MTSU Blue Raiders. Fink sends it deep. Finds Palmer. Palmer looking back to Michael Settle. Settle in a chase down. Oh, what a nice move by Michael Settle. Settle looking. Hesitates and lost the puck again. So again, that Ole Miss defense will not let MTSU pass.
I like that they're attacking at the top of the key. They're not waiting until they get in front of Parent. They're attacking right at the blue line. They want to get that puck out. They want to send a breakaway pass and get that breakaway goal.
Great analysis there. MTSU with no hesitation trying to get the puck inside. Looking over is Palmer. He finds his man to the inside, and it's just missed by Albanese. He had a clear path to the goal, but could not get the puck to go into the net. Kind of whiffed off of his stick, and now MTSU will take it back. Yarger over, trying to find Thomas, and nothing doing. Puck's deflected back out to Siciliano, who had that nice backhand pass earlier. Almost set up a goal. Yarger to the inside, finds Corey Settle, the older of the Settle brothers, and that'll be covered up by Parent.
Dylan, I'm really interested to see how this lineup will continue to change and make adjustments throughout the night. Of course, there's a few new players that have been added to the roster that are actually used to be on the team. They're just making their return. You have Alexander Yarger, like you just spoke of, Tristan Archon, who we haven't seen on the ice just yet, and Ruffing, I believe, is not out on the ice, but you've got Jake Fink, Corey Settle,
yes,
and Lyndon Palmer were one of my favorites to watch. They've got such great momentum. Definitely pass forward, get things going. They're quick on the feet.
And here's a guy who's quick on his feet as well. Wrench to the inside. Wrench looking for Settle. Corey Settle. And again, Parent, as there was a big traffic that looked like I-40 to the inside that he couldn't get past. And it ended up causing a no goal for MTSU once again.
I've had the opportunity of watching Parent for the past few years, back when this conference was the SEC-HC, and he's a great goaltender, and nobody has anything bad to say about him. He's definitely still got his groove on.
Big shot taken that time was Corey. We'll see what the call is going to be. Quick stoppage of play. Substitutions will be made by both squads. And you see the referees motioning out at center ice. MTSU did already have to deal with one power play from Ole Miss earlier, and it looks like they're going to have to deal with yet another one. So 2 power play opportunities now for Ole Miss in this first period, Abigail.
I wish I could tell you that I was surprised. Corey Settle, however, is in the box, and we've got another penalty kill coming up.
Rebels could not capitalize last time, trying to do it this time. Pass play to the inside, puck will be sent deep. MTSU did a very effective job, but trying to do that once again is going to be a handful for the Blue Raiders. Rebels going to try to do something with it now.
I want you to keep an eye out for number 3, Connor Huey. I've been able to watch him play a few times as well. He's so smart in front of the net. He's pesky. He's the player you don't want to play against, but you'd like to have on your team. He's not afraid to get right in front of the net, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a screen or just him be right at the front door of Roy.
Parent deep again for Ole Miss. Rebels will send this one back. Settle trying to retrieve in a big game of cat and mouse between these two players right now. Nothing doing. McLean for Ole Miss was there to the inside. Puck will be sent deep. Looking over, finding Lyndon Palmer. Here comes Palmer. Slap shot inside and does not get that one to go. MTSU did have a shorthanded goal against Georgia Tech in their opening game of the season. Nothing doing that time, though, but you got to watch out whenever Lyndon Palmer's got the puck. He is dangerous in open space. Rebels trying to play it to the inside. McLean looking. Pass is going to be tipped in the air. Glove shot, and it's going to be saved by Ethan Roy. What a night.
Negative in the air, but however, I don't know that was the greatest line change from Settle. It didn't come to a disadvantage at this point, but that could have really led to a 2-on-1. Luckily, they were able to 2-on-3, but that could have worked out a different way.
Yeah, as you said, a fortuitous bounce for MTSU that time. Face-off upcoming. The Raiders have struggled on face-offs this season and in this game, trying to reverse that trend. Ole Miss will continue that trend for the moment. Rebels play it from near the blue line. Back outside from the near side. Looking from the center. Tried for the slap shot, muffed it, and MTSU is going to try to retrieve it for the moment. Not going to go too aggressive, instead just wanting to kill this penalty. Just 20 seconds remaining for the Ole Miss Rebels on the power play. Puck play to the inside off the pad of Roy and nothing doing. Ole Miss continues and trying to do something with it, but the MTSU defense stout at the moment. Puck played inside, again, nothing doing. Rathert looking for the inside once more. Knight's trying to poke it out. Rebels with it, nothing doing. Pucks play deep, and nothing doing. Siciliano trying to make a steal, fighting to the inside. What a nice play.
He's always the one player that will definitely leave it out on the ice for you. He's so aggressive.
Yes, he is. Now he's got an opportunity inside. Not going to work, but MTSU still with it for the moment, and not for long. Puck's played back. Rebels trying to get it. There's Michael Settle. Settle, puck is going to be taken by Siciliano. Siciliano inside, and a nice block by Ole Miss once again. The Rebels defense continues. Puck played inside. Settle, shot, no good, deflected, still loose, and finally covered by Cameron Parent. Boy, that one was oh so close for MTSU.
Just tracing through the blue. Throughout the net, just ready to cross just ready to cross. Parent able to swallow it up. Something that we're seeing on both sides, though, is we've had to say
2-on-1. Thomas with blazing speed plays it deep, still has it, looking to the inside again. Ole Miss trying to get it back. Here's MTSU. Puck played inside, deflected, and still up around. And Lyndon Palmer does come up with it. Gotta love MTSU's aggressiveness here early at the end of the period. Just a minute remaining in the first period of action. Boy, what a quick first period it has been. Still no score. Both teams looking for the early dagger.
Have to say that I'm impressed with the penalty K unit coming from MTSU. There's that turnover.
That turnover, and that was nearly costly for MTSU. Almost had to make a withdrawal from the bank. Instead, Ole Miss will hold on to it for the moment. Diving attempt by Palmer to get the puck back. Puck's played deep to the inside. It's still around. Deflected and nothing doing once again. Rebels still with it. Puck's played inside. Still bouncing around. And looks like finally Ole Miss will come up with it with the shot. No good. Siciliano's got it. Looking deep. Trying to find his man. And again deflected. Ole Miss now it's going to be Fink still looking. And the Rebels do come up with it. McLean. McLean with it. And now turned back over. Albany's is able to send it deep in a close call for MTSU. Stop and let the first period come to an end. So this game will be sent to a 0-0 tie after one. And Abigail, it was a very, very interesting first period. A lot of back and forth, but neither team able to capitalize on a goal opportunity.
The most interesting moments coming just in those last
few seconds were certainly an interesting time for MTSU and Ole Miss. And the question really is going to be now, which team can capitalize moving forward, and how do you...
Everything is ready to go.
Right.
You get down to the last few minutes of the third period, and the penalties. It's like the discipline goes in, out of the head, and you're on the penalty kill. Well, you know what happens to the rest. There's goals that happen that go against, and they lose the game.
That's a great point, because we saw 2 power plays given up by MTSU in that first period. They were able to avoid it for now, but anymore, and that could be disastrous for the Rowdy Raiders. It's going to be interesting to see how that translates moving into the second period of action. We're going to take a short time out, but thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with the second period of action live from the Ice Castle. Don't go anywhere here on the MTN Sports YouTube channel. We'll see you soon.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're a bit competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet apart. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got 2. Oh!
I'm going to that game.
Welcome back to the Ice Castle, the Ford Ice Center. I'm Dylan Simmons. She's Abigail Martin. Excited to bring you Rowdy Raider hockey here tonight on the MTN Sports YouTube channel. Second period action coming your way. Abigail, I got to ask, what do you think we can expect going into the second period?
That's a great question. Hopefully someone's going to score. We'll get some
Yes.
action. No, not to say that the scoreless game hasn't had any action. Actually, the last time either an overside. So we have a lot of things to expect. I'm interested to see what the message was in the locker room and how the energy level is going to be coming back onto the ice.
Well, before we hop on the crazy train, as the speakers are saying, got to ask you, what do you think is going to be the most important thing that MTSU needs to do to really establish a tone in this second period?
Stay out of the box. Discipline
like
is
it.
so important. You can't do a lot of things whenever you're playing shorthanded with that 5-on-4, and always you're not making any help for Ethan Roy.
Yes.
Let's get back to it.
All right, let's get back to it. Second period coming your way. We'll give it to you in just a second. And it is now time. Thomas going to take it out for MTSU. And he will send it deep. Reminder, MTSU gave up 2 power play opportunities in the first period, but couldn't do anything with it, was Ole Miss. So that puck will be played deep, and looks like it was an icing called. And, of course, for Coach Rathert and Ole Miss, the question is going to be, how do you adjust into the second period, and what adjustments will you make? Opportunity for both squads.
I know I said discipline is a big thing, but you have to take advantage whenever you have the face-off in your offensive zone.
Good point, and we're seeing another stoppage of play there on the near face-off, and we'll try it once more. Wrench for MTSU. Ole Miss once again also with it. Both teams, again, just trying to get out of the funk thus far that they've been in. Rebels will take it up along the board. Siciliano sends it deep, and MTSU will take it back with Siciliano now. And it's going to be again off the net. Ole Miss takes it. Oh, big shot delivered that time by Corey Settle, and a stoppage of play. And we'll see what the call is here. Looks like that might be
Tripping, I believe.
a tripping. Yeah, tripping penalty has been assessed. So that was a bit of a costly one that time. And it looks like we're going to see MTSU again having to go on the penalty kill. Their third of the night, Abigail.
Not even 3 minutes into the second period.
Well, it's one thing we discussed heavily in the intermission was that both teams needed to avoid this, and MTSU continues to go back to their bad habits. Ole Miss going to now try to do something with it. Puck's played up along the blue line. Finds it deep. Looking for his man to the outside. MTSU trying to get it over. Send it deep. Puck's played off of the pad of Roy. Ole Miss still with it as Joseph Robinson was trying to do something. Now going to give back over along the far side. And another stoppage. And we'll see here. Substitution is going to be made for both teams in the meantime.
Interference being called against Robinson.
Oh,
Ole Miss will
interference
even
on
things
Robinson.
up. So we're going to have a 4-on-4 play for about 1 and 35, and then MTSU will come out on the ice, and you'll see Corey Settle. Then
Yes,
we'll have
and-
a few brief period for MTSU's first time on the power play.
Yeah, actually, first time tonight, and that'll give them a 25-second power play, give or take. We'll see if they do anything with it. 4-on-4 for the moment. Shot from Banis, no good. Banis will take it back. Anthony Banis now. Puck is played deep, bounces off of the glass. And here comes Ole Miss now with an opportunity. Rebels with it once more. Puck played to the inside, and Roy just able to cover it up. And the puck is sent back towards the Lee Company side. Lyndon Palmer now. Palmer with it. Palmer looking for the shot inside, and it is no good. Cameron Parent once again with that beautiful display of goaltending. And Jackson Taylor for MTSU now. Here comes Clay Stalzer. Almost gave it up as he hit the deck for the near point. Puck played along the far side once more. Ole Miss trying to do something with it. Currently, the Rebels have 9 shots on goal to MTSU's 12, so they haven't been able to get as many shots on goal as of late, especially. Puck's played along to Roy. Swatted back. Roy sends it over and finds the ice bender. Lyndon Palmer. And look out for these electrifying moves like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Palmer looking. Sends it deep once more. And it's going to be given back over. Cole Waddell for the Rebels. And who's going to come up with it? Waddell sends it over, trying to find somebody for the Rebels. Sent along is Settle. And again, the stalemate continues, Abigail.
8 seconds remaining.
8 seconds remaining here. So MTSU will get their first power play opportunity of the night. We'll see if the Rebels PK works as good as MTSU's. Settle with it. Michael Settle now. He's got Thomas in perfect position. Thomas sends it into a mosh pit. Thomas to the inside. And it is a mess over there. As big of a mess as Thursday Night Football to the inside. And let's see here. And they're going to be stoppage of play as the goalie covers it up. Cameron Parent. So 16:08 remaining in the second period. Still no score.
Gonna get things changed up.
Changed up. Face-off coming for MTSU. There's
Again,
Blake
a good
Neiman.
idea to win this face-off.
Critical face-off for MTSU to win. They cannot. That struggles continue, Abigail, with the face-off opportunities. There is Nicholas Knights who sends it deep. And this puck will be played along the near side. Fink trying to retrieve it. And, oh, man, takes a big, big shot from Ole Miss that time.
And
You also see Yarger down there. Yarger trying to come up with it. Neiman almost had an opportunity.
MTSU power play coming up.
And another power play for MTSU. So another mistake by Ole Miss. And this one even more costly.
Delayed penalty. They tried to get out there and get some energy before Ole Miss could touch that puck. Couldn't quite do it.
Couldn't quite do it. A bit of a delay.
But hey, now at this point, they get a full power play advantage instead of those just a few seconds. Good opportunity to display what special units team can do.
If you're MTSU, this is definitely the time to strike. Definitely the time to make magic happen. Let's see if they can do it. Michael Settle with it to the inside. Settle trying to come up with it. Settle hesitating. Settle going to look over, find his man to the inside once more. Stalzer looking for Palmer. Palmer from the top of the set. Clay Stalzer. Stalzer to the inside. Almost went in that time. Anthony Bannis now. Bannis from the blue line. Bannis to Palmer. Palmer to the inside. And again, Cameron Parent to the inside again. And Stalzer is denied at the doorstep by guess who? Cameron Parent.
You told him he had to protect the net, Dylan.
He's
You told
protecting
him.
the net. He's been one of the best parents a puck could have right now, I got to say. Unbelievable. And puck will be played deep, so Ole Miss continues with the success on the PK for the moment. Anthony Bannis will retrack for MTSU. Bannis sends it over to Lyndon Palmer. And look out in open space. Lyndon Palmer blazing speed. We saw the moves he made earlier tonight. Oh, it almost went in, as I believe it hit the face mask of Cameron Parent. Bannis now with it. Anthony Bannis. Gretzky slap shot, no good. And Bannis will hesitate. And Anthony Bannis will send it back over. So MTSU will have to try once more with Lyndon Palmer. Right now, Abigail, the Ole Miss penalty kill really working wonders for them. Looking to the inside once more. Almost had an opportunity with Michael Settle. Rebels will still play it, though, down the link here. Let's see. And substitutions being made. Penalty is almost over for Ole Miss, just down to 30 seconds. For MTSU, their last gasp on the power play.
I know we're watching down for the puck, but if you keep an eye out, Corey Settle was just there, but so was Jackson Taylor trying to get that puck down, waiting at the bench. Waiting at the bench at the blue line. Matthew Siciliano just sustained a hit, but he's back up.
Yes, he is. You see the ice on his jersey and on his leg. Siciliano going to try to make up for it. Siciliano to the inside. Siciliano going to try the wraparound, looking for Settle. Corey Settle now needs some help. Settle trying to find that help in Siciliano. Puck is played over to Wrench. And, almost an opportunity with Thomas. And here's Wrench. Wrench to the inside. Siciliano. And nothing going to go that time. Wrench will hesitate. Wrench. Looking to the outside. MTSU with it once more. Siciliano. Slap shot inside. No good. Puck played off. And again, Ole Miss will deny MTSU. Power play over. Penalty kill successful. Puck played inside once more, and nothing doing for the Rebels that time either. The stalemate between these two continues. Who is going to blink first in this staring contest, Abigail?
You killed me, Dylan. No, but really, they had such a great opportunity there, MTSU did. I like the confidence of Siciliano. However, Zachary Thomas was waiting at the footstep in the slot. You had to pass over to him. I bet you that was a goal. You go top shelf, easy.
Have to agree with you that time. Looking to the inside, Yarger trying to make a shot along the near boards. Rebels with it once more. Ole Miss looking up against Roy. To the inside, Roy. Nice pad save. And it's going to be Thomas looking into traffic. Somehow got through, though. And here comes MTSU. Pignoco, 2-on-1. Deflection. MTSU, and they ran into their own man, and it's going to cost them a turnover. And that would have been a great opportunity for MTSU. Instead, it's Ole Miss to the inside, Roy. And MTSU's going to send it deep. And a near disaster for the Blue Raiders, but nothing doing. Big shot by Settle once again. And an even bigger one delivered that time. And another shot. Things are breaking down here at the Fordyce Center. Holy Toledo.
Think things are getting a little bit chippy, but I could be wrong, Dylan.
I think you might be right on that one, Abigail. We saw several thunderous shots delivered back to back to back between those players. And now the referees are just going to have to try to sort out this bedlam that's taking place at center ice. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, what in the world? And we'll see what arises from this situation.
Cross-checking called against Ole Miss, but I can tell you that Michael Settle is not happy.
Yeah, Michael Settle none too happy with that call there. Looks like we're going to get a potential power play, and yes, for MTSU. So power play opportunity coming up for the Rowdy Raiders. Let's see if they can do something with it. They're second of the period. Looking over, finds his man to the outside. It's Siciliano. He's been everywhere thus far tonight. Siciliano, Harvey Wrench to the inside. Opportunity, and it's not going to work out that time either.
That was the softest entrance the puck has had to Parent, and that was probably one of the closest.
Definitely one of the closest, and about as close as you wanted, Abigail. But again, Ole Miss continues with that defense. They've just really found a way to deny MTSU all night. Siciliano trying to do something with it to the outside. And Wrench will hold on to it for the moment. Wrench sends it back to Siciliano. Thomas and Siciliano with it. Matthew Siciliano with the shot. And again, it's a pad save by Cameron Parent. 10:59 remaining. And again, this stalemate between these two.
We talked about adjustments, Dylan, but we're seeing some changes out for the special team units on the power play for MTSU. Mixing things in. Nothing's worked so far. They're just trying to get something that clicks.
And you got to think both of these teams have a lot of history with each other. They know each other very well after years of playing each other in the back. And, of course, Ole Miss has some very distinct history with their head coach, who himself is an MTSU graduate, Josh Herbert, who came from MTSU, coached at the University of Memphis for 3 years, and now coaching against the Rowdy Raiders. And we know the success he had last year. Got to wonder if there's a little extra chip on his shoulder every time they play to the inside. That one almost went in for Ole Miss. Nothing doing that time. Clay Stalls are going to send it deep once again. So MTSU has done nothing with this power play. Palmer will wait. Last seconds of it ticking by. Palmer still with it. Lyndon Palmer sends it back over. And Cameron Parent trying to do something with it. And again, another turnover, and the Rowdy Raiders will have to go back on the defensive. And, deflected off of an oncoming Ole Miss player, and he's going to try to do something with it. Rebels to the inside, and back to the outside now. Alex Luff. Puck played over. MTSU with it for the moment. Spin from Luff, and almost made something happen that time. Gotta love the creativity from Alex Luff. He's like Leonardo da Vinci. But here comes Lyndon Palmer. Palmer in open space. Lyndon Palmer one-on-one. Palmer shot. Oh, it's just over the net. Close, but nothing doing. And a quick glove save by Cameron Parent. And that was easily, Abigail, the best opportunity MTSU has had tonight.
That was a good reaction to bounce back over on MTSU side. Ethan Roy saw Austin Pellegrino, but then you take it right back. Lyndon Palmer just missing it. Good opportunities on both sides, but we're still scoreless and 9:20 left in this matchup in the second period.
Gotta say, this game, it's got Breaking Bad levels of tension right now. We'll see which of these teams can come up with something. You got to think whoever gets this goal is going to be in perfect position to win this game with how few and far between goals and shots have been here tonight. And that will be an icing call deep. And we'll have another stoppage of play. 9:02 remaining in the second period. If you're just joining us here live on the MTN Sports YouTube channel, MTSU and Ole Miss meeting for the first time this year. And a game which usually sees a lot of goals has seen none thus far between these two. There's MTSU going to try to get the face-off with Yarger. Puck played. Oh, what a nice hit by Fink that time. Yarger's got it to the inside. Oh, he takes a shot of his own, but sticks to it and sticks with it. Rathert with it now. Puck deflected off the glass. And again, it's going to be Ole Miss with it for the moment. Let's see if MTSU can take it back. They can for the moment. Albanese lost the puck. It's still moving around, and penalty's going to be called here, Abigail.
I'm really surprised. There's two other opportunities that they had to blow that whistle. Looked like a cross-checking to me over. Looked like he went for his head, but no call. And then also that high stick that just got deflected right into the boards.
Yeah, and as someone who's been around the sport for a while and has covered it, you know kind of when those penalties are coming up, and you saw what happened there to the inside. And now for MTSU, going to have to try to play on the defensive here. MTSU with Stalzer, who's going to send it deep, and this is Ole Miss's third power play opportunity of the evening. MTSU has been unable thus far to capitalize on theirs. Ole Miss trying to do something different, and a near pad save by Roy. Rebels take it back from the blue line. Sends it deep on the slap shot, nothing doing. Methodically looking for something to work here. Back to the outside, looking inside, and that puck is nearly put in, still rolling around, and Ole Miss comes out of the mosh pit with the puck somehow. Puck played to the inside by Joseph Robinson, and finally it's going to be played back towards Cameron Parent, so the Rowdy Raiders again avoid disaster, but boy, that was a close one.
I said earlier that MTSU is switching up their power play unit, but Ole Miss is starting out with the same line every single time.
And that's interesting. Ole Miss really confident in the power play they're using right now. Puck will be again covered up by Cameron Parent. So we'll have another quick stoppage. Face-off to follow. And Abigail, we discussed at the end of the first period how crucial it was going to be for momentum's sake for one of these teams to get a goal. And you got to imagine if either one of them can manage one, it's going to be huge here. And we'll have a face-off momentarily. Siciliano matching up. Rebels will take it back from the outside. That was Alex Luff for Ole Miss. Siciliano trying to go up against Cole Waddell. There's Luff once again for Ole Miss. And a nice steal by Siciliano, who sends it deep. Nothing doing that time either.
Watch how Siciliano is playing defense. He's such a great double-ended player, but he could have had that hit over there along the boards. But he knew that he didn't have numbers for his team to catch up.
Very smartly played, and Siciliano with a great IQ when it comes to the game of hockey, trying to use that to good use on this penalty kill. Ole Miss trying to do something with it. Cole Waddell. Waddell sends it back over, finds Loof. Loof to the inside, and again, nothing working for Ole Miss. Can't really get as close as they might like to here, Abigail. Maybe looking for that rebound, but nothing doing. MTSU playing at least disciplined defense as of now, and collision, and that was Ethan Roy covering up the puck. Let's see what the call is going to be here.
I honestly can't say that we're going to see any sort of penalty that comes there, but that was Connor Huey just going into Roy. I'm surprised that, head captain Rathert just allowed that to happen with no sort of retaliation.
Yes. Several MTSU fans wanted a penalty call, but none was taken that time. 6:37 remaining in the second period. Wrench on the faceoff for MTSU. Now back to even strength for both squads. Wrench, nice steal. He's got Clay Stalzer, 2-on-1. This might be their best chance. Stalzer, and they're going to roll off sides. And that one is going to be very controversial, Abigail.
That's going to be something that later on, if this remains a tight game and a tight final, that's going to be something that you look back at.
There are moments in a game that can truly turn the page, so to speak, and that one might just be it for MTSU. That was maybe their best chance of the night, and who knows what Clay Stalzer does. He is automatic every time he gets in front of the net. That could have been a goal, but it is going to be reversed again for MTSU, and we continue with the stalemate.
You just got to give credit to Wrench. I mean, he
new opportunity. It's going to be Banis. Oh, lost the puck. It's in the air and somehow saved by Ethan Roy. Talk about a heads-up, 7-up play.
I would love to know what conversation just happened between Banis and Roy, because it looked like Roy was like, don't pass me the puck.
It looked like he had the look of, I don't want this, and ended up trying to save it, and just in the nick of time was able to cover it up. Boy, that was fortunate for MTSU.
I'm sure Roy was ready to cover. He just wasn't expecting that extra little push from Banis.
MTSU again averts disaster as they have for many points throughout the game. A big shot delivered to Knights. And the puck will be played along the near side once more. And again, a stoppage as it looks like it went out of play.
That's Robinson, who's also been in the penalty box for Ole Miss tonight.
Joseph Robinson for Ole Miss. And here comes the face-off opportunity for MTSU and Ole Miss once more. Ole Miss will take it from the top. And, muffed. And it's going to be Michael Settle going to try to send it over to Corey Settle. Brother to brother, the Settle connection. And it's going to be waved off once again. Oh, not quite. Excuse me. Pardon me. It's going to be Ole Miss taking it back up the rink once more. And here come the Rebels to the inside once more. Looking to the inside. Shot off and no good. So again, MTSU able to avert disaster. Here comes Corey Settle. And this time there will be a stoppage. 5:19, I believe a timeout might have been taken there. We will see. And
Delayed
yes.
penalty that's going to come up against MTSU.
There we go,
Knights
delayed
going to the
penalty.
box.
So a delayed penalty that time for the Rowdy Raiders. And, boy, this is just the kind of mistakes they can't afford right now, Abigail.
Coincidental minors, though, at that.
So we will await how this all shakes out.
Brendan Hill's in the box for Ole Miss, and, of course, Knights in the box for MTSU. Haven't seen an official call from the referees yet. But, Dylan, I have to tell you, it is a good thing we are calling a hockey game and not a baseball game. The amount of strikeouts that we would have seen from these players with a swing and a miss on the puck, it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it's been Ole Miss the shot tonight for the Rebels, and for MTSU, they haven't been able to do much better. Still no score between these two teams, and it's so odd to see this when you especially consider the history of these two squads and how many goals are usually here tonight. But like Steve Eiserman, they can switch the narrative here at any moment. And that will be a null face-off, and we'll try it again.
I would love to know, I wish I had a stop clock to keep everything up with it, but Siciliano would love to know how tired he is with the amount of time on ice that he's had.
He is putting in a true MVP Kellen Winslow-esque performance tonight, trying to be the Iron Man for this Rowdy Raider squad. Ole Miss, though, going to try to make him pay. Cole Waddell with it. Waddell looking to the inside. Waddell shot, and it's going to be nearly covered up, almost taken in, and Ole Miss had a great opportunity, but nothing doing. Alex Luff. Luff with it to the inside once more. Luff looking, taken away by Siciliano for the moment. Siciliano had it. Ole Miss has it back now. Puck played deep once again. It's going to be Lyndon Palmer who's going to chase it up the rink. Lyndon Palmer, he's got one-on-one. Palmer with it. Palmer to the inside. Palmer looking for a move, and it's going to be covered up by Cameron Parent once more.
I could be wrong, but I think that one hit the post to the right side of Roy, but we'll see if he gives it a love tap and a good thanks.
I think you're right on that one. Lyndon Palmer, you got to imagine the frustration building for a lot of these players. They keep thinking they've got the perfect opportunity, but it just slices to the right or slices to the left.
That's the good thing about this game, that although it is scoreless and there's been opportunities on both sides on and off of the power play penalty kill, but it hasn't been boring by any means. Both teams have had opportunities and great scoring chances at that, just not able to convert.
Oh no, we've had Michael Scott levels of excitement despite the shot. It goes in off the face-off. Clay Stalzer now firing up the crowd.
Dylan, I said it
crispy.
earlier. All it needed to be was a good face-off, and what do you know? It is in the face-off of the offensive zone. You get that puck. I don't even think Stalzer realized he just scored that. He acted a little surprised.
That was a blink and you miss it play, and MTSU with a beautiful goal out of nowhere like Randy Orton, 1-0 Rowdy Raiders.
4 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the second period. And, of course, both of the penalties are going to remain in the box as well.
And just like that, this game has been turned on its head. Let's see if MTSU can start the run and the snowball down. It's going to be Stalzer looking for the chase down. Cameron Parent sends it deep. If you're Ole Miss, you can't panic here. You don't want to panic too much. And Ole Miss will take the puck back now.
Really surprised Wrench went away from that puck there.
Still on a 4-on-4. Roy covers it up. So again, Ole Miss will have to await another opportunity, but if you're MTSU, Abigail, now you've got all the momentum in the world and the biggest opportunity of the night to really establish a firm control on this one.
But, of course, the most important thing is maintaining that lead. We've seen so many times where this team will score ahead and they'll let things fall, and especially discipline in the third period is such an issue.
Another shot from the face-off. That one not going to go in for Ole Miss. Rebels going to try to do something with it to the inside once more. MTSU sends it over. And this puck will be played back. MTSU with it once again. Here comes MTSU with Settle. It's the Settle brothers looking to the inside. And it's going to be Michael with it. Finds Thomas now. Thomas sends it deep. Nothing doing that time. Rebels will hold on to it.
There were two things that could have also just come out of that play between the two Settle brothers. You allow one of them to stick with the puck. Another one sets up in the wing. Or you have a wraparound goal opportunity. But neither of those happened.
Neither of those did happen. We'll see if they can right the ship here soon. And it's going to start with Corey Settle. Settle trying to do something with it, but it got poked away on the defensive side by the Rebels. Great job by Ole Miss once again. They've had a really stingy defense, just let up that one face-off goal out of nowhere.
Power plays are expired.
And power plays are now expired for both squads, back to a 5-on-5 even game. Substitutions also being made. Blake Neiman, one of those for MTSU, along with Yarger. It's going to be sent deep again by Rathert. Fink with it. Fink slap shot and covered up nicely again, Cameron Parent. So it'll remain a 1-0 game, 2:58 remaining in the second period. If you're just joining us on the MTN Sports YouTube channel, it was a mostly quiet game when it came to goal scoring until just a few minutes ago when Clay Stalzer, the main man, found his way to the back of the net once again, right off the face-off, dished it out, and MTSU going to try to do something with it now. And if they can get one more goal, especially with how much Ole Miss has struggled on the offensive end, could be a death nail for the Rebels.
Good call, Dylan. Good call.
Lyndon Palmer going to try to do something with it. Sends it deep over. And Rebels will send it back along the far side. And a nice defensive effort that time by MTSU from the blue line. And Ole Miss will give it back over to Cameron Parent. Rebels now with it along the center ice portion. Looking over, circling back. Nice poke check. Greatly done by the Rowdy Raider defense once again. And here comes Clay Stalzer. He's already got one tonight, and he's going to send it deep along the Vanderbilt health sign. And Rebels will give it back over once again. Ole Miss really cannot afford another goal here late.
MTSU just got some fresh legs in.
And MTSU with another substitution, some fresh legs for the Rowdy Raiders. And Albany is going to try to do something with it on the chase down. Can't do anything. Settle. Michael Settle for MTSU. Jackson Taylor back in for the Rowdy Raiders. And he almost made an instant impact. And Bannis will try to chase it down. Bannis in a big shoving match. Going to send it back over to Jackson Taylor. Taylor looking deflected, finds his man, shot to the inside, doesn't go, set back on the rebound, Ole Miss sends it deep. And that was a near shot for MTSU, but nothing doing. Rebels again stopping another collision, and some MTSU fans wanted a call. None was given. Rowdy Raiders will have another opportunity here. Going, and here we go. Turning up the Jets is going to be Siciliano. Siciliano trying to move to the inside, and nothing doing. Rebels will hold on to it.
That toe drag, Siciliano. Goodness gracious.
Siciliano out here breaking ankles, and the puck will be given back over, looking for Albanese. Rebels will take it from the blue line once again.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute remaining, and again, a nice save on the hop by Ethan Roy. 48.6 left on the clock right now in the second period in what has been an electrifying second period for both teams, but especially for MTSU.
But Ole Miss is picking it up. They're getting close to evening up the shots on goal. Earlier, MTSU had a major advantage, but now 17-12, MTSU leads shots on goal and on the scoreboard 1-0.
They are revving up the engines, trying to go the inside, and what a nice reaction again by Ethan Roy. And man, he just continues to make play after play from near the net. Face-off coming up here for both squads. Wrench trying to get it for MTSU. And again, the face-off struggles continue. Ole Miss from the inside, and Roy again with a nice save. Ethan Roy will not be denied tonight. Gives it back to the referee and says to keep it coming. And he is not going to let up if at all possible. 17 shots on goal for MTSU to Ole Miss's 13. Maybe one of the bigger differences here tonight for both sides. Although it's been fairly even, that little bit more from MTSU might be as big of a difference as anything, as Cameron Parent will give it back over to the Rebels. 23 seconds remaining here in the second period of action. Clock ticking down on this game in terms of the second period of action. We'll see if MTSU can do anything with it in the last little bit, or maybe the Rebels to the inside shot, and it goes in! Unbelievable! With 10 seconds left in the second period, we've got a tie game.
Brendan Hill with that one. I know we've said it so many times, Dylan, that MTSU will get the lead early and let everything snowball down at the end. But we can mention that even for the second period, there's 10.8 seconds remaining in the second period. They were about to go into the locker room with a big advantage, up 1-0, and you can look at Coach Rathert a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, you can imagine his frustration. And although that shot was as crispy as the Detroit style from Pizza Hut, it didn't matter for MTSU, who now is tied at 1-1. Ole Miss is going to try to play this one out, and I think that's what they're exactly going to do. Second period is over, and unbelievably, this game turned on its head, but both sides managed a strike, and it's 1-1, Abigail, after 2.
I'm just still stuck on the fact that you're sticking with Pizza Hut for pizza.
Well, I absolutely love Pizza Hut. I think it's the best pizza.
Alrighty.
And you got to imagine that both these teams, they've been hungry here tonight just on that very topic. Got to love what you saw from both sides there in the second period. What do you think is going to be the most critical thing to really run away with this game in the third period?
MTSU has a lot that they need to work on. There's been slow line changes, and I don't think that they've been taking them at the most smart of times. Of course, MTSU just had a great offensive rush, but instead of going with that puck and trying to see what advantages they can work out of that, because they had Ole Miss behind them,
yes,
they went and got fresh legs, which is okay and understandable. But when you're at a point in the second period, you're up 1-0, yes, but you have to keep pressing the gas. I mean, they just hit the brakes. They just allowed a goal on Roy. So now we're tied up 1-1 for this hockey game. Discipline's another big thing, especially as we enter the third period. I feel like if we had a penny for every single time we spoke about that, we'd be doing pretty well. We could get that pizza that you're wanting. But that's going to be one of the biggest parts. And I think that MTSU needs to do a better job at remaining in front of the net, getting rebounds, because that's where you're going to find a lot of goals. I mean, Parent almost let one slip in just a few minutes ago because he didn't realize it was coming.
Absolutely.
So you get that net front presence, maybe get a screen in front, and maybe the puck will trickle through.
I think that's great analysis that comes from years and years of covering hockey, obviously. And I think, like you said, it's going to come down to who can really take advantage, take a stranglehold on this game. We saw both teams deliver their best strikes offensively, make adjustments defensively. It's going to be key to see who is able to come out on top in the third period. Going to be awesome to watch. And we hope all of you are going to stay tuned as well here live on the MTN Sports YouTube channel. We'll come back from commercial here in just a second. Stay tuned here at the Ice Castle, the Ford Ice Center. More Rowdy Raider hockey coming to you soon.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're the competitive.
All right, boys, I got a media pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering it?
6 feet far. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got two.
I'm going to that game.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ice Castle once again, the Fordyce Center. Dylan Simmons, Abigail Martin, and Abigail, we're about ready to start the third period of action, but we want to discuss some storylines here in this game that are taking place right now. So these two teams, they've got some history, and as somebody who's covered collegiate hockey South over the past few years, you kind of know and have seen just how important that this game is for both of these teams. Last year, MTSU finished 6th in the CHS standings, got them into the postseason. Ole Miss won behind them in 7th, and that was after a year where they won the CHS championship. So there's a lot of history between these two teams.
Absolutely, and even going before that, before the CHS took over from the SECHC, Ole Miss was a contender, and I believe they won. It was in 2020, the last big hurrah before the pandemic, of course. So there is a lot of history between these two teams, and I believe that I actually saw one of those players, Brendan Storner, who actually has a brother that's still playing now, but I saw him down on the ice, so I think he's ready. He's excited to be back here, and of course, this is actually where they used to play against the Vanderbilt Commodores before they got that new rink in Bellevue. So it's reminiscing, I guess.
Yes, it is. It's reminiscent. A lot of connections, more than you'd think, between MTSU and Ole Miss, and that's what makes this awesome sport of hockey so exciting to watch and so exciting to really tell stories with. But I got to ask you also, we saw how important and how wild that end of the second period was. So the question's going to be, who takes the advantage in the third period, and what is the biggest key to doing just that?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see MTSU come out hot, but at the same time, Ole Miss left coming out hot.
Yes.
Obviously, with that goal with the last 10.8 seconds remaining, but even in the first period, we saw the Rebels really pipe up the energy at the end of the first period, and of course, being able to tally that goal in the second period. So it's kind of either way. I'm really interested to see, obviously, the face-offs. That's something that we've said earlier was so important, and especially when your own offensive zone. Of course, that's how Clay Stalzer got his goal, to start things off early in the second period. So it's really just a matter of whose locker room is ready, hyped, ready to go.
Right you are, right you are. All right, we've got our first report of the night from our reporter, Brandon Delfs. Brandon, what do you have for us?
So I spoke with Coach Rathard, and Coach Rathard said that you got to be intentional. You got to move your feet, and that's something that MTSU has not done tonight. He stated that MTSU is lucky to be in this game right now, but they very much so are. With a 1-1 score heading into this third period, should be fireworks.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Love the report, love the energy, and you heard it in Coach Rathard and what he said there, Abigail. This third period is going to be so crucial, especially getting out to a hot start.
I'm not surprised that he's not that impressed with his team's play. He wants them to be intentional, like he said, but the chemistry's got to be there, and of course, not whiffing the puck. And they have to have aggressive puck play, but also staying disciplined. That's one of the most important parts as this game winds down, especially now tied up 1-1.
All right, you are. Now, before we go into the third period, I got to ask one more question. Do you think that giving up that goal in the final 10 seconds is going to hurt MTSU and kind of weigh on their mind going into the third period, or do you just put that to the side? You don't even think about that?
That's one of the hardest things to say, because that's something that it really matters about the locker room and the confidence within yourself. But I think that they should be a little bit confident about how the night's gone so far. They've been able to hang things. Even though the shots on goal hasn't followed, they're still not trailing, maybe like 3-0 or something like that. They're on the scoreboard. They got the lead. They should have some confidence and should be able to bounce back.
All right, and do you think that we're going to see more goals or less goals? Do you think the defense will stand? We know the third period can be a period where a lot of fireworks happen. Do you think that these two teams have found each other out with the defense, or do you think it's going to be more of what we've seen in the past?
Well, I'll go ahead and answer that the easy way. Someone's got to score for this game to end.
That's true.
No, but I really think it's going to remain a tight game. I don't see a lot of goals slipping past very easily.
All right, good point, good point. Well, the announcer behind us says it's time to go, so it's time for this third period of action between the Rowdy Raiders and Hotty Toddy, the Ole Miss Rebels. Cannot wait to bring it to you live here on the MTN Sports YouTube channel, and let's get right into it right behind us. So here we go with the third period, the oh-so-critical third period to break this stalemate, this chess match between these two squads. And here we go. Ole Miss is going to win the faceoff for the moment. Clay Stalzer quickly on the chase down, and it's going to be Michael Settle with it. Settle looking to give it back over. He doesn't want to settle for anything. Puck's going to be covered up, and Cameron Parent will again do his job and keep that puck from going anywhere near the net. But MTSU gets early pressure, and Abigail, you're seeing MTSU coming out with quick fire here. Faceoff will be won by MTSU, and they almost got it right off the faceoff, as you were saying.
Yeah, no, that shocked me too. Look who's out on the ice for MTSU. Palmer, Stalzer, Jackson Rathard, a lot of leaders for this team.
Now, a lot of leaders indeed, and we saw Roy hit the deck. Ole Miss almost came up with a shot there. Rebels take it back from the blue line. Puck's played to the inside. And they're going to hesitate with it once again. Puck's played deep, off the rink, no good. Stalzer sends it, finds Palmer, tries to anyway, goes right past him, and this will result in an icing. So MTSU had a prime opportunity, but nothing doing that time. And we'll have to just wait and see if either squad will be able to break this. We'll see also some substitutions for Ole Miss. Rebels making some adjustments. And we'll see the face-off coming up. Michael Settle in there for MTSU has done a lot better as this game has progressed forward at winning the face-offs. Puck played deep, looking for his man, and Clay Stalzer off the deflection. Clay Stalzer can't chase it down, slips and falls, and that is not what MTSU needed to see. Had a prime opportunity, but can't do anything with it. And it's been those missed opportunities that could come back to haunt MTSU close to Halloween. And you do not want Pennywise to come up and take you away. Taylor with it once again. He's going to send it deep and find Siciliano. And Siciliano's going to hesitate with it. So Ole Miss will take it back from their side of the ice. MTSU going to try to chase it down. Siciliano took a shot, couldn't get anything out of it. And Ole Miss trying to get a piece of it once again. Chase down, and Ethan Roy will cover it up and say, no way, we're going to stop some play for the moment. And MTSU takes it back. No whistle. So MTSU will hold on to it. And deflect it off once again. So Abigail, MTSU with some early opportunities, but nothing doing so far. How do they really reverse that fortune and start converting on these prime chances?
It's all about the defense right now. Don't let don't let Ole Miss play their game. Don't let them get set. Don't let them get settled. Don't let them get comfortable.
Good point. You don't want them playing their brand of hockey right here out now. Here comes Ole Miss trying to do just that to the inside. Settle going to send it nearly into the MTSU bench. Ole Miss will hold on to it for the moment. Big shot taken by Corey Settle, and the Rebels will send it to the near side once more. And Thomas will try to play it deep. Ole Miss will send it near the net. Back towards the top. Shot inside, and it's going to be blocked and nicely done by Ethan Roy, who just denied Alex Luff.
Ethan Roy had his eyes on that shot all day long. Clear path.
Yeah, you talk about the vision of the goalie. He saw right down the aisle, knew what he needed to do. It's like when you're in the supermarket and you see that perfect sandwich from across the aisle. He knew exactly where he needed to go. Great job that time. Ole Miss going to try to play it down deep once more. And it's Alex Luff who's going to try to hand it off. And he's going to hold on to it for the moment. Now does. Rebels going to try to send it over. And nice turnover. Palmer trying to do something with it. Palmer sticking with it. Circles back. Finds Settle. Michael Settle weaving his way through traffic. And delay. No call there. Almost wanted to call. Palmer with it to the inside. Palmer shot. No good. So close, but so far for Lyndon Palmer once again. And another big collision on Knights that time. And this time there will be a penalty assessed.
That was such a great opportunity, but you know what would have made it even better, Dylan? Someone to be having that net front presence, pick up the rebound, and slap that puck in.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody was there at that time, had been Johnny on the spot, then that puck would have went in the back of the net, and we're talking a completely different game right now. Instead, it stays at 1-1. It's prime time here at the Ice Castle. Which of these two teams is going to take advantage? Rebels trying to do something with it along the near side. Ole Miss plays it deep. Finds Corey Settle. MTSU trying to find a gift of their own. Siciliano now. He's got blazing speed to the inside. No good. Puck play deep. And it's going to be somehow saved. Cameron Parent. Looked like Pecorine with the save. Unreal.
Evan Wrench with that opportunity right there. You know he's a little bit upset after not being able to knock that one back.
And it looked like for sure that would be a goal for MTSU, but they're denied once again, and how frustrating that's got to be for the players.
But let's look at the bright side. They're in their own offensive zone. Have that opportunity like Stalzer did just a few minutes ago, win the face-off, pop it off, back to the net.
Good point. If you're MTSU, you just got to shake that off and realize that was a great offensive opportunity, and now you can take advantage. You can capitalize on that. We see Archon on the rink surface for MTSU. as well as Wrench. Settle, Banis, and Siciliano, all for the Rowdy Raiders.
Coach Herbert, of course, having a chat with the refs right now.
Yeah, discussing that last play, I believe, and we'll see what comes of it. Oh,
Absolutely not.
and referees motioning out, and there will be some substitutions made. Looks like Coach Herbert just wanted to have a chat there.
Michael Davies went into the penalty box, so I have to assume that they were questioning the reasoning and trying to keep him out of the box for this MTSU team to get the power play yet again.
Right you are, and now if you're MTSU, you've got the power play, you've got the option to do just that. We'll see. And it's going to be Wrench on the face-off. He's gotten better as this game has progressed forward. Puck will be sent deep, finds his man. It's going to be Thomas. Thomas to the inside, no good. And this puck will be played back along the near side once more.
Good shot here. It's a good shot.
MTSU will hold on to it. Send it back over. Nice shake and bake play right there. Siciliano. Siciliano is going to hold on to it. Along center ice. Again, nice move. He's got those Lyndon Palmer-like moves. And Wrench from the inside. Wrench to the inside again to Thomas. Nothing doing.
MTSU is getting a delayed penalty.
And that one is going to be costly. And that will send it to an even 4-on-4 strength. And boy, for the Rowdy Raiders, they had just the perfect prime opportunity and nothing doing. Or actually, no, excuse me. I believe that one was on Ole Miss. It is. So 5-on-3. My mistake, everybody.
5-on-3, the first of the night. Haven't been successful on the power play so far.
All right. Hold the phone if you're MTSU. This is the time to do it. Anthony Banis. They're going to have a minute 24 of 5-on-3. Can they do something with it? Puck's played over. Nothing doing. Rebels now with it on the shorthanded play. Ole Miss trying to go up with it. But not much you can do when you've got that much of a mosh pit around. And this one will be played back towards the end of the rink once more. Lyndon Palmer now. And Clay Stalzer. Puck's going to be played back over to the inside. Nothing doing. And it's going to go in unbelievable on the 5-on-3.
A shorthanded goal, 5-on-3, 3-on-2, advantage for MTSU.
He busted through the defense like Michael Myers, and unbelievably, MTSU is down despite the 5-on-3. Can you believe it?
I thought you were crazy, Dylan, for making the Halloween references, but that was spooky. I'll give it to you.
I appreciate it, but somebody who's in need of some help right now is MTSU. 15 minutes remaining in the third period, and somehow they find themselves down after the 5-on-3. Still 5-on-3 for the moment. MTSU with an opportunity. Siciliano now looking over. Finds Settle. And Abigail, you talked about MTSU letting off the gas. That might have been a situation where that took place. They thought they were in the perfect position and ended up giving up an easy goal. Oh, that one looked like it went off the post. Nothing doing. Played back over. Thomas to the inside. Takes a big shot. And we're going to see Wrench try to chase it down. Cannot.
Just out.
And he'll have to retool. Go back to the inside.
Settle and, oh goodness. This is
And
getting a mess.
yeah, a couple MTSU players ran into each other, and MTSU cannot do anything right now with this play. Siciliano to the inside, shot at net, nothing doing. Saved by Cameron Parent.
MTSU in their own offensive zone with the power play. Yet Settle and Ruffing collide just above the blue line.
And the 5-on-3 is just 1 second away. Sherlock Holmes would say it's elementary at this point because only 1 second left on this 5-on-3. It's about to be a 5-on-4. MTSU will have about 30 seconds or so of that, but boy, you got to imagine that frustration. We talked about how it could be building. Now you give up a shot at net on a 5-on-3. That's got to hurt. Taylor to the inside. Jackson Taylor covered up again by Cameron Parent, and things getting chippy down to the inside once again, Abigail.
It's not surprising that things are getting chippy, but the thing is keeping things disciplined. I hate to use that word again, but make sure your seatbelt's on and you're not
Yes.
going anywhere crazy, because going to the penalty box will destroy the confidence if your confidence is not already shattered. Because look at it. Yes, MTSU just allowed a shorthanded goal, not just by 1 but by 2. But Ole Miss had that opportunity and took it to go to their offensive zone for the break and score that goal.
Lyndon Palmer for MTSU trying to find Clay Stalzer. And it's going to be Stalzer with it. Clay Stalzer up the court once more.
3 on 2.
Stalzer with it. 3 on 2 to the inside. Settle shot. Off the mark. Overshot it once again.
What a pass by Jackson Taylor.
Great pass by Jackson Taylor, but nothing comes of it. Rebels have it back along the net once again. And Palmer's going to watch it go deep. And it'll skip out and be an icing.
3 on 2. Jackson Taylor. What a pass. What a pass to Settle. You see that he's not upset. Or excuse me, he's not happy. A little bit upset.
Yeah,
Shaking his head, but we're back to even strength for this hockey game. 13:32 remaining in the third period. MTSU leads 2-1, or MTSU trails 2-1. Should be winning.
Yes,
But-
yes. MTSU trying to reverse that narrative right here. Rebels trying to do something with it. Albany's to the inside. Rebels will take it back over from the top. And the Rowdy Raiders will watch this one go back to the Ole Miss side of the ice. Rathert with it. And MTSU will send it deep looking for Albany's. Albany's trying to get it back. Yarger loses the puck once again. Sent deep.
Ole Miss
Akron.
is all in MTSU's head right now.
Yeah, I think the mental mind games taking place right now for both these teams, and Ole Miss seems to have the advantage. Raiders trying to do something with it to the inside. Nice almost opportunity for Yarger. Couldn't get it to go. And we'll see another stoppage of play.
We've said it so many times that both teams have had such great opportunities, but yet again over in their offensive zone. But we spoke earlier about the missed opportunity that they had on the power play.
Yes.
And if that was going to come back to haunt them. And right now, I don't know that that's where their head is right now. They're still looking at that shorthanded goal that they allowed, but that's something that I'm keeping in mind.
Yeah, you got to imagine that seeps into your mind. It sticks with you as a player. There's no way to alleviate the pain that you feel when that happens. Almost off the faceoff once again to Siciliano. He's going to take it from the near side. And he gives it up. That was a bad turnover. And Thomas will try to chase it down, and he does. So the Raiders avoid disaster for the moment. He's going to send it deep, trying to find Settle. And Corey Settle cannot come up with it for the moment. Shot delivered that time. And
Going
the
cross
Rebels,
sides for the sauce. Nope.
and it's going to be given back over to Ole Miss once again. Let's see if Wrench can come up with it. Siciliano had it, lost it. Ole Miss again with an opportunity to the inside. 2-on-1, off the mark, no good. Fortuitous for MTSU, but Ole Miss still has it. On his knees somehow trying to make a play is Brendan Hill, who had the goal earlier tonight for the Rebels. And it's still on the loose. MTSU, and still bouncing around, a holy roller-esque play. Who wants the puck?
Not MTSU. I can tell you that much.
Finally,
But
they get it with
Siciliano does.
Siciliano and takes a shot, and it's just a glove save by Parent.
I am almost 100% convinced that Siciliano is the only person that's remaining in this game. He's been everywhere and anywhere that you have asked him to be throughout the game, and it's not facing him just yet.
Yeah, Cameron Parent with the George Pickens-esque save that time. Settle's going to try to take it back on the faceoff, but yeah, Siciliano been one of the bigger bright spots, maybe one of the few bright spots in the third period. And again, Ole Miss takes it back on the 2-on-1. Puck's played deep, and Rebels take it back. MTSU trying to come up with it. Rebels still hold on to it. Finally, Lyndon Palmer, the ice bender's got it back. Here comes Palmer trying to bend things to his will. Sends it deep from center ice and can't get anything to go from there. Finds Palmer at the center. Shot inside, nothing doing. And again, it's deflected way up in the air. Somebody has to get the pop fly. It's going to be Ole Miss for the moment, but Knights has it. Nicholas Knights shot inside, no good. Give him back over. Still plenty of time for MTSU to get a goal, but you got to imagine they can't give up another one or it's going to be game over for the Rowdy Raiders. And this puck will be sent back towards the far side once more.
They look like they're already have taken themselves out of the game. They need to be crashing the net. I can tell you that much. That's the only way.
And we got
too many men on the ice, a bench minor.
And you can see a bit of the frustration on the MTSU sideline. Boy, that is not something that you need to make, not a mistake you have to make at this moment. And that is crucial moving forward with 10:36 remaining. And yeah, Abigail, I think you're right. MTSU mentally is almost checked out right now.
This could be the nail in the coffin if Ole Miss is going to take accountability for it. Roughing's going to go to the penalty box. 6-on-5. They thought they were on the power play, I reckon. They needed something to get going, but just a simple mistake for that one. It's so costly.
Yeah, we saw Ole Miss get a shorthanded goal earlier on a 5-on-3. Maybe MTSU with a 5-on-4. Maybe just what they need to unlock something in this game. Pad saved by Roy and sent deep. Nice job on the initial penalty kill. Let's see if the Rebels can make them pay for it. Wrench trying to do something with the puck. Not going to get anywhere near it, and the Rebels will hold on to it. Puck played from center ice. Looking to the inside. Roy holds on. Trying to hold steady, stay sturdy. Rebels with it again on the outside with Shane Brait. Now to the inside once more. Deflected and no good. MTSU trying to hold on. Taylor gives it over and finds Stalzer. Clay Stalzer with it. Sends it deep once more. And this puck will be played along back over to Cameron Parent. And he nurses the puck back to the Ole Miss offense. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the power play for the Rebels. MTSU just trying to avoid the ultimate disaster here. Trying to keep the Death Star from blowing up. Let's see if the Rebels can make them pay here. And it's going to be given back over along the near side. And a big shot delivered. And another penalty is going to be called.
We're going to have retaliation.
And here comes the madness to the inside. Holy Toledo, everybody. Watch out along the glass. It's getting chippy down there once again.
Bannis is the one for MTSU getting attacked, and we're going to see an ejection. Here comes a major.
And an ejection's going to be called. And it's going to be on Ole Miss, I believe. Yes, it will be. Joseph Robinson is out of here. He is gone for Ole Miss. So an ejection, and that one is costly for the Rebels.
We're waiting on the official remark for an ejection, but I believe that's what was signaled. But we'll have to keep an eye out. If you'll see a Rebel pop into the penalty box, that will be it for Robinson.
That would be the clarification, and for MTSU, that would be helpful as well because it would get it back to a 4-on-4 game for the moment, which would be a godsend for them in terms of really getting back into this game and maybe getting their heads back. And you know, when you see that kind of shot, Abigail, you got to think that fires up the players also.
I would have to say. I mean, something needs to pull them back into this game, and seeing your player, this is going to be it for Bannis.
And
roughing is still in the box for that too many men on ice penalty, but we'll have to see who's going to replace Bannis in the penalty box.
So Bannis is out. And we'll wait and see what the official call is going to be here.
I imagine it's going to take a few minutes for this one to get cleared up.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to get all this sorted out. It was mayhem down there on the inside. Looked like a NASCAR crash at Talladega. And with all the wild incidents we saw, if you're just joining us here on the MTN Sports YouTube channel, 9:21 to go in the third period. A wild game is broken out at the Ice Castle, the Ford Ice Center. Ole Miss currently holds a 2-1 lead in a game that has been all about physicality, effort, and discipline. And that's been maybe the biggest difference as to how the Rebels have been able to get an advantage in this one. Up 2-1 right now. MTSU trying to flip the script on it.
But Dylan, even with all of that being said, neither team have had a clean game. Not in the term of penalty minutes, which I won't even get started on that, but talk about puck handling out on the ice. Nothing has been crisp. Nothing has been clean. There's been many opportunities for turnovers, which we've seen a few, but there's been opportunities that have been missed on either and both side. And especially right now for MTSU, or even before this, and we get things kind of cleared up a little bit, you poke your stick out just a little bit, you get that reach, but you have the communication that that's going to happen. You're able to poke things out. So I'm imagining you've got, let's see, who's been playing at the top. We're going to have Pellegrino maybe poke things up, or Palmer. or even wrench,
Yes.
and you pass it ahead, you get that breakaway. You're right in front of parent.
And that's going to be crucial for MTSU to capitalize on. Still waiting on the official word here. You see Corey Settle discussing with the referees. What a wild game this has been. So many back and forth, so many question marks around how things were going to shake out. We've seen a little bit more clarity here in the third period. MTSU had a 5-on-3 opportunity, Abigail, and ended up giving up a goal rather than scoring one. And it seems like ever since then, it's just been a completely different game here for Ole Miss.
This might be the turnaround that they need. Of course, not by losing Banis, but that's something to get you fired up.
We'll see if MTSU can use that as a chip on their shoulder to do something with. But right now for Ole Miss, they are as hot as a blue hypergiant star, and they want to keep that going.
4 on the ice for Ole Miss. Let's see how many will come out for MTSU. No one's replaced Banis' spot in the box.
2 minutes on the power play.
No one has replaced Banis on the spot inside the box.
There's a 5.
Looks like there's 3 for MTSU and 4 for Ole Miss.
With Banis' ejection, again, that's going to be a major penalty. 5 minutes on the scoreboard for that. Robinson's also in the box for Ole Miss, going to hold 2 minutes.
Here we go.
So 4-on-3, Ole Miss still with the power play for the moment. It'll be back to a 4-on-4 here momentarily for MTSU, trying to hold this off. Rebels trying to deliver the final shot, the kill shot to the inside, looking for a goal on Roy. Nothing doing.
Slide tackle if you
Evan Wrench, here he comes, trying to beat him out.
Wrench trying to chase it down and tried to be Don Beebe to Leon Lett that time, but nothing doing. Puck will be played back over to Ole Miss along the near side. Rebels have it again. Here comes Ole Miss looking for something here, as it's Warnick for the Rebels. Back to Warnick on the inside. Warnick looking. Mishandled on the opportunity. Warnick still with it. Warnick to the inside once more. Finds his man inside. Loof is denied. The MTSU defense rises up once more, and now Ethan Roy covers it up and says, no way.
Roy covers it up, and of course, now roughing out of the box. 4:05 remaining in that major penalty. 1:05 remaining for Robinson.
So Ole Miss will have roughly 3 minutes on the power play whenever we get back to MTSU with 4 and Ole Miss with 5. But for now, for the next minute or so, it'll be almost in, and it finally does go in after a delayed reaction, and the Rebels do capitalize, not on a power play, but on a 4-on-4, and the Rebels now find themselves with a 3-1 advantage and a potentially game-ending goal.
Between Stalzer and Roy, I wasn't able to have a clear sight vision of it, but it looked like someone was high-staking if you look at how Stalzer's reacting.
Yeah, Stalzer not pleased at all with what just took place, and for Ole Miss, they're in exactly the position they want to be in. A supernova explosive goal, and now it's going to be all about if MTSU's got any hope of doing something here in the next few minutes, they got to do it quick. Michael Settle with it. Settle going to give it back over from the blue line. Shot inside, nothing doing. Michael Settle hesitates and trying to find Thomas along the far side, looking for Stalzer, who has a goal tonight, the only goal for MTSU. Rebels with it once again in a drag race. Here comes Ole Miss, and nice takeaway by MTSU. Crucial.
Amazing defense right there.
Yes, beautiful defense by the Rowdy Raiders once again, and that was absolutely crucial, preventing another Ole Miss goal, which would have been definitely game over. Ole Miss still with it, though. MTSU trying to hold firm. See Akron and others. Back from the blue line once again is
Robinson's
Warnick.
out.
Robinson is back for the Rebels.
just inside of 3 minutes left on the power play.
Just inside of 3 minutes left on the power play here in the third period with 7 minutes remaining overall. MTSU trying to get one last gasp. Roy's going to hold on to it and covers it up this time, not wanting to take any chances, especially after that last deflected goal.
Dylan, I have to say, I didn't have this on my bingo card for how this one would roll out tonight.
No, I don't know if anyone had it going quite like this. not especially high scoring, but the way it's played out, it's been Ole Miss finding a groove in the third period and really applying sauna-level pressure to the Rowdy Raiders, and that's been the biggest difference here, has been that ability to just mess with MTSU, especially mentally, I think has been a big factor.
MTSU still has 5 more shots on goal.
And you got to remember, too, Abigail, MTSU has 5 more shots on goal, 20-15 overall, and yet still have not been able to do much with it. Some of that has to be attributed, though, of course, to Cameron Parent's impressive goaltending here tonight also. So Ole Miss will take it back from the top. Rebels with it. Loof to the inside. Nothing doing. And Ole Miss will hold on to it. Puck played back. Sent deep again by Akron. And hesitating. Siciliano trying to do something with it. And sent back over by Albanese, who's getting a little chippy inside. Rebels will hold on to it. MTSU just trying to get out of this penalty situation. And the last thing you want to do here also is get another penalty that could potentially cost you.
Which wasn't that smart of an act over there for Albanese.
No, he was definitely inciting the wrath of the officials that time. Thankfully, was not caught for his sake. And Rebels will continue it from center ice. Almost turned it over to Palmer. Lyndon Palmer back in the game. Big shot along the near side. That one rattled around. Sounded like a 10.0 earthquake. And a big one delivered by MTSU. A minute and a half remaining on the power play for Ole Miss. Inside of 6 minutes now in the third period. Puck being sent along the near side. Looking over, finding Palmer. Palmer lost the puck, gives it back to the Rebels. And sent along all alone is Warnick. Warnick to the inside, zips it past, and nothing doing. And this puck will go all the way out past the blue line. Fink covering it up, but no one there to follow him. And a big shot delivered, still with it. Lyndon Palmer trying to get it back.
Fink is still going at it over there with Alex Luff.
Yeah, they went at it for a while. You can tell the emotion is boiling up like a volcano right now between these two teams.
Even to mention, this is Jake Fink's first game back in quite a minute. First game this season.
Yeah, and you can tell he's playing with passion. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, trying to do something here. Roy watches it go past. The Rebels with it. There's Rather to the inside.
MTSU is very out of this game.
Ole Miss from along the blue line once again. 30 seconds left on the power play. MTSU trying to send it deep, and they do. But even still, even if they can clear this penalty kill, Abigail, that leaves them with about 4.5 minutes left, and that might not be enough time.
Right even before that offside, you have Matt over on the ice right before the blue line, misses the puck. That has happened so many times tonight. I know I joked about the strikeouts, but that's something where you have to keep in mind, pay attention to, but genuinely pay attention to it. Not just something to remember while you're on the bench, something while you're on the ice to keep your head on the puck, keep it down, to pass it out.
Yeah, right you are. And for MTSU, they've been striking out as much as the Dodgers did against the Padres. Stalls are with it to the inside, and this one will be covered up again by Cameron Parent. So 4:27 remaining again in the third period, and just 6 seconds left on the power play, so MTSU should negotiate this, take care of business, but not much time left to come back from a 2-goal deficit. We've seen miracles happen before at the Ice Castle, but it's going to require one of a different level to get this to go in.
I just genuinely don't see that MTSU has that confidence within their team. But even going back to that shorthanded goal for Ole Miss, they had the confidence to remain to play with the puck. I can't talk. That's how flabbergasted I am over this. You don't have confidence in yourselves when there's a 5-on-3 advantage, whereas Ole Miss had the confidence down 3-on-5 to play the puck.
Yeah, and as somebody who's covered this for a while, you know kind of the strengths of the players and how well they could potentially be playing. So to see them have this kind of performance, definitely something to be disappointed potentially over, but MTSU still with an opportunity here. Let's see if they can do something with it. Rebels to the inside, 2-on-1 shot does not go in, so a fortuitous bounce for the Rowdy Raiders. And the Wrench will try to take it up from the top. Wrench sends it deep. Nothing doing, and that will kill the power play, so back to even 5-on-5, but just over 4 minutes to go now. Rebels going to take it on the near side. Looking over, finding a man once again. Here comes Ole Miss 2-on-1. Shot inside, and nice deflection by Roy. And Wrench will give it back over, trying to find somebody. Thomas will send it back along the glass. Rebels will take it back from around the net. And puck will be given back over. Ole Miss kind of just playing a game of hot potato right now, giving it back and forth between each other. Wrench now going to take it up for MTSU, sending it deep. And, oh, man, what a pass. And no penalty. Well, now let's see. And I believe there will be one called, and a bit of a delay, but that's going to be huge for MTSU, Abigail.
I'd have to guess that they're going to go for interference on that one.
Yeah, you almost
flirted a little bit with the offside, though. I'll give them that.
Yes. Interference that time, and now it's going to be a power play and a big one potentially coming up. For MTSU, if you've got any last hope of coming into this game and coming out with something, maybe even a victory, it's going to be now or never.
3:10 remaining in the game. MTSU trails 3-1 on the power play.
Lyndon Palmer going to send it deep.
Keep an eye on Ethan Roy.
Rathard along the outside. Keep an eye on Ethan Roy. He might be coming out here for MTSU to get an even better chance. Nothing yet. Clay Stalzer gives it over. The Ice Bender sends it deep. Nothing doing. Siciliano on the rebound. Nothing going. And Lyndon Palmer will send it back. For MTSU, you've got to keep it inside the blue line. Rathard muffed the shot and couldn't do anything with it. Could have been a goal potentially. Siciliano gives it back to Palmer. Palmer from the top. Palmer spins.
Good spin.
Pirouettes. Inside deflected. Stalzer with it. Clay Stalzer trying to hold on. Stalzer gives it over. Trying to find Jackson Taylor. It's sent deep again.
2:25 remaining on the clock. I'm watching the MTSU bench. Ryan Bobrow is ready to see Ethan Roy get pulled and have someone else pop out, assuming you're going to have one of your top-line offensive men, Clay Stalzer or Lyndon Palmer, but no coach has looked over yet.
Rathard with the shot almost went in. Siciliano trying to send it back over on the near side. And
Ethan
Taylor.
Roy's waving, saying he's ready to go whenever he gets it.
Roy waiting to come out, but still nothing has been called by Rathard.
He's staying. He's coming.
And now he's coming.
He's going
Rathard's
out.
coming out.
Lyndon Palmer coming out on the ice.
Lyndon Palmer coming out. Oh! It goes in. It goes in. MTSU on the power play, and the crowd explodes.
MTSU on the power play, but also Ethan Roy just made it to the bench. Lyndon Palmer's coming out on the ice. Didn't even make it over to the blue line before that MTSU goal. 3-2, 1:44 remaining in the third period. I said that MTSU was out of this, but I've got the goosebumps. I think they're ready to go. I think they might have one more or even two more goals left in them. We'll have to see how Ole Miss reacts.
A goosebump-inducing moment. It was as loud as Krakatoa in here with all of the people just elated to see MTSU come back from the dead like The Undertaker. And now an opportunity down just one goal with 1:44 remaining. And
we're gonna have a
MTSU
timeout.
trying to make something happen. Timeout has been called, so for MTSU, Abigail, now strategy has got to come into question. Do you pull Ethan Roy here?
That's a hard one. He's obviously going to remain out on the ice for the faceoff, and it's here we go again. We're talking about
Yes.
who's going to win a faceoff. It's been so important throughout the game, but this is obviously going to be one of the more crucial moments. Ethan Roy's going to remain out on the ice. We'll see who's going to win this faceoff. Not only if MTSU can bring the power into their offensive zone, but if they can sustain it for more than just a minute.
And we'll see how that all plays out. We'll see if my voice lasts any bit longer. But that shows just how exciting of a game that it's been. 1:44 remaining from center ice, about to be played.
34 seconds remains on that power play for MTSU. Look at Coach Rather. Look at that enthusiasm. He's ready to go.
He is.
I think if he could, he'd put the skates on for himself. He might as well take Jackson Rathard's jersey. He'd remain captain for the team, and he'll whip one in.
Yes, sir. He is as fired up as you can imagine. And you got to imagine these players have been given a new chance at life here, a new chance to make something happen. Can they do it? Can
And
they
look at the
send
line
this
they're
one?
coming out with. Evan Wrench, Clay Stalzer, Lyndon Palmer, Jackson Rathard. Also going to...
And they're playing Mo Bamba here. It's getting as electric as Gus Johnson in the commentary booth. And we're about to see if MTSU can deliver one last blow. Lyndon Palmer going to try to do something with it. Clay Stalzer chasing it down.
Roy remains in net. See, that's what I'm talking about that right there. They're not able to sustain that pressure. You're not going to pull Roy.
And because of that, you have to hesitate and keep waiting. And for Ole Miss, it's simple. Keep the puck on that side of the ice, and you're going to win this game.
I can doubt that they are going to try to give any sort of offensive pressure. They're going to let...
Oh, a turnover, gave up the puck, and MTSU is able to hold on. Lyndon Palmer now. Lyndon Palmer, he's got to race down the rink. Palmer with it. Palmer looking inside, tripped up. Lyndon Palmer still waiting.
Ethan Roy is out of the net.
Ethan Roy's out, so
Extra
now
attacker,
MTSU
Jackson Taylor's
last
coming in the back.
gas, puck sent deep.
wide.
No good, but now Ole Miss has got it, and that will end it. A frustrating defeat for the Rowdy Raiders.
We talked about a clean game, and we talked about the importance of turnovers, and when it mattered most, they allowed a turnover right behind their own goal.
And that
A lot of mixed match, and there you go. There's that goal that's going to come from Connor Storner, the brother of Brendan Storner, like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, former player for Ole Miss, back in his glory days of lifting up that SEC HC trophy.
Yes, and again, that pedigree really showed on that shot. But for MTSU, a theme as consistent as Groundhog Day has been taking place here, as another winnable game at Ford Ice Center will fall by the wayside for the Rowdy Raiders. As Arkin going to try to chase it down, it'll be a stoppage of play on the icing.
Every time that MTSU has gotten the opportunity to get some momentum, get their head back in the game, Ole Miss shuts it down. Absolutely not.
It's going to be Michael Settle here on the face-off for MTSU. Given over to Siciliano. MTSU going to try to do something with it here in the last 30 seconds or so. Settle gives it back from the top. Thomas sends it deep. Nothing doing. Siciliano looking for Arkin. Arkin looking over and going to find Ole Miss again with Loof. Loof to the inside. Siciliano chasing it down. Albany's trying to do something. Delivers a hit. And a helmet flies off. So
That was
Loof's
not
helmet
intentional.
comes off of his
That was,
head.
though. He's gone.
And that's going to be an ejection.
Alex Luff, you've mentioned him a few times tonight.
Yes.
That helmet popping off was not intentional by any means, but the retaliation was, and he is going to be out of the game, which along with Banis, both of these players, you're not going to see them tomorrow night.
And that's going to be crucial going into tomorrow night's game if you're Ole Miss, because now you're going to be shorthanded. And as for Alex Luff, he's out of here. He's gone with 18.3 seconds remaining, but
And
too little,
keeping in
too
this
late.
game, this might give MTSU the opportunity for a power play, but we'll have to see how this one will pan out. I don't believe that they're going to get that advantage.
Does not look like it for the Rowdy Raiders.
Albany's in the box for MTSU.
So Albany's in the box for the Rowdy Raiders at the moment.
That's something I was going to say right before that happened, that there's kind of two ways that this game's going to pan out. Everything is going to be nice and subtle and neighborly and just fun.
Yes.
Not really fun, but you know what I mean.
Yes, yes.
Or things are going to get very chippy. People are going to start to not care. There's only 18.3 seconds remaining on that clock. Ole Miss leads 4-2 in this game. And we saw a little bit of that, where the
Yes.
nerves just kind of fly through the roof.
Yeah, you see Ole Miss really found a way in this third period. I think that's the biggest key, found a way. It was all about striking and playing the mental game. I think the mental game more than anything
Yes.
was really the separating factor here towards the end. MTSU kind of seemed out of it for a lot of the third period, and that might have been the difference. When you play that many minutes and aren't able to attack in the correct way, aren't able to get into that attack mode like a Tiger, it ends up hurting you in the long run, and MTSU might have to pay for it.
And again, the line that we've become so familiar with, Stalzer, Wrench, Settle, Jackson, Taylor, also, not Knights. It's going to be Zachary Thomas.
Puck will be played deep along the center ice portion once again. Clay Stalzer with it up along the Preds logo. Stalzer gives it over. Ole Miss with a near turnover. And Stalzer will send it deep along the near ice once again.
Clock winding down with 3.
Clock winding down. And, oh, my goodness. And this is a really,
Wow.
tough
Wow.
situation with Jackson Taylor, and again it's getting chippy. And
This game is out of hand. Jackson Taylor's down on the ice. We'll take just a moment.
my goodness.
The reaction from Connor Huey is what I do not like from that Ole Miss bench. Unsportsmanlike conduct to a T, and he is still over there chirping. He had the audacity with Jackson Taylor down as he still is on the ice after taking that high hit, taunting him. Jackson Taylor still isn't moving. He's getting looked at by the trainer.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, the Ole Miss sideline riled up, and Jackson Taylor now
Guys, hop back in your seats. We're going to bring it back to you.
turning over, and we'll wish him all the best. Boy, what a unsatisfactory way to end this, especially after so much excitement here tonight. And we all can wish the best for Jackson Taylor, but it was a very, very tough hit delivered that time, Abigail, and of course we're surveying the situation behind us. But a chippy game, a lot of physicality, a lot of back and forth, and it's only gotten worse here towards the end. And
I can say that Taylor, he's up, he's skating with his own power, and it looked like a high hit. I wouldn't be surprised if something was going on in the face, and of course going to keep an eye out for concussion protocol.
yes.
But these teams are still chirping out on the ice as they head to the locker room. A 4-2 game, it's been a game, but now this has turned into something completely different.
Yes.
I have to be worried about tomorrow. As far as the referees, hopefully that if it's going to remain the same staff that we saw tonight, they're aware of what's happened to know how we're going to see tomorrow night start off, unfortunately. But also they're keeping a retaliation note. I mean,
Yes.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, this is turning from a game to a street alley fight right now between these two. And this boxing match will continue going into tomorrow as these two teams will face off again tomorrow night. And you got to imagine that animosity, that fire is going to be filled with both teams. They're going to have something to prove and something that they want. But final thoughts here before we close out for the night.
We said it a few times, and we'll just go ahead and round it out for a thesis statement, I reckon. Penalty box, you have to stay out of it if you're MTSU. You have to stay disciplined. Face-off wins are so important. You saw that with Clay Stouser's goal. I know we've mentioned that a few times, but it's just so important, especially
Yes.
when you're in that offensive zone. You have to be smart with the puck. There weren't a lot of – either side, really, was really clear and consistent with their puck handling. And as far as passing goes as well, there were so many opportunities that were missed on both sides. Goaltending was phenomenal. Defense for MTSU could be a little bit better in front of Ethan Roy, getting him a little bit extra of a step so he
Yes.
doesn't have as much work that he has to do. And lastly, line changes. MTSU had a few times where, they were slow a lot throughout the night, but
Right.
also just weren't making a lot of great decision makings whenever it comes into that. But I have to round it all out with the confidence for both of these teams. You could see that because MTSU, I know I've said it and I'll say it one more time, have the advantage of a 5-on-3 power play. However, they're not attacking as much as they could. However, Ole Miss, who is shorthanded, is able to score off a goal because they are willing and they were ready to play defense. They poked that one out, got that breakaway goal. I mean, there's just not much you can say about that. I know that Coach Rather is very upset coming after this one. So we're going to have to see how tomorrow plays out. But tonight,
Yes.
not a good look for MTSU.
Yeah, very crushing loss here for MTSU, but the puck's been passed, the baton's been passed. Thank you so much for joining us, Abigail. It was awesome to have you in the color position tonight. And thank all of you for tuning in once again to the MTN Sports YouTube channel. I'm a very raspy voiced Dylan Simmons, but an excited Dylan Simmons after an awesome game. She's Abigail Martin. Thank you all so much for watching, and for our entire crew here at MTN Sports, we thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow night here, same place, same time. We enjoy it. Thank you guys.
Here at MTN Sports, you could say we're competitive.
All right, boys, I got immediate pass for the big game this weekend. Who's covering?
6 feet far. Fight! 1, 2, 3, 4,
Let me guess. Who's shooting this weekend? The funny thing is, I've got two.
I'm going to that game.